girls baseball players. My name is Coach Kylie, and welcome to this week's instructional video on pop flies. I'm glad you decided to join us again, and look forward to working on pop flies together. During this week's video, I'll be teaching you what a pop fly is, how to catch a pop fly, how to track pop flies and take the best route to catch them, and then we'll go over the difference between a cross step and a drop step, and I'll finish by showing you some drills to try at home. Don't forget that success in baseball comes from practice and repetition. So even though we're working on a new skill this week, don't forget what we've already learned. Make sure you're throwing using proper mechanics and throw in a couple ground ball drills this week as well. Remember that if I'm going too fast or you don't understand something, you can pause and rewind the video. Watch a section again until you understand it and can try it correctly. Before we start anything, take some time to warm up first. Warming up is the best way to prevent getting hurt. Do your full body and arm warm-ups, and if you forget how, make sure to check back to the throwing and catching video for instructions. Let's start off by talking about what a pop fly is. A pop fly is a ball that is hit high into the air, and we have the opportunity to try and catch it before it hits the ground. When this happens, we always want to try our best, because if we catch the ball before it hits the ground, the batter is immediately out. Everyone on the diamond needs to learn how to catch pop flies. They're not just for outfielders. No matter what position you like to play, at some point you will have the opportunity to try and catch a pop fly. So it's good practice for all of us to learn about them. Now let's talk about how to catch a pop fly. Make sure to grab your glove and try the motions along with me. We want to be in a good ready position before trying to catch a pop fly. This time we'll focus on the ready position for an outfielder. As the pitch is being delivered, we want to be in a good athletic position. Our feet are a little wider than our shoulders, and our hips are square to the baseball, since we don't know what direction the ball will be hit. Our hands are off our body, and we're ready to take a good first step towards catching the baseball. When the ball is hit in the air, we want to move so that we get underneath the ball. We know that we're in the right position, that if we didn't have our glove and hand up, the ball would hit us on our forehead. Now that we're under the ball, we want to put our hands above our head, forming a W with our hands. You can see the W if I don't have my glove on. Your other hand is up to help catch the ball and keep it in our glove. We always want to use two hands to try and catch the ball. As long as you stop the ball from touching the ground, it's considered a catch and the batter will be out. So our other hand can be really useful to help make that happen. We want to catch the ball a little in front of our head, not behind us or even directly on top of us. We want to be able to see the ball as long as possible to make it easier to catch. We always want to try to catch the ball with our glove above our head. We want to avoid turning our glove over and catching it down with a basket catch. When we're catching pop flies, our brain has to make all these calculations of where to be and where to catch the ball. When the ball passes across our eyes, these calculations change, and the chance of making an error increases. So when you can, always catch the ball with your glove up. If the ball is far enough away that you have to make a basket catch, you still need to use both of your hands. But now you want to have your pinkies together. We always need to use two hands to catch a fly ball. Seeing and watching the ball is really important for fly balls. Sometimes we get scared and think that we're going to get hit with the ball, so we close our eyes. You are more likely to get hit with the ball if you close your eyes than if you keep them open. Your glove will protect you if you can see the ball. You want to watch the ball all the way into your glove, so keep your glove out of the way of your eyesight as long as possible. If you lose sight of the ball for even a split second, there's a higher chance of dropping it, so don't take your eyes off the ball until you've caught it. Most of the time, fly balls aren't hit right at us, so we have to track the ball. Tracking fly balls means getting a good read on the baseball and choosing the best route to get it, and being in a good position to throw the ball after catching if we need to. Getting a good read means picking up the ball with your eyes as soon as it's hit, and trying to predict where you think the ball is going to go. React to what you see and let your eyes guide your body. Now that we've decided where we think the ball is going to go, we need to start moving in that direction. This movement is called getting a jump on the ball. The first thing we need to do is take a good first step. Our first step is either going to be a cross step or a drop step. Let's start with the cross step. There are two types of steps that we can take: a movement step and a directional step. A cross step is a movement step. This means that when you take the step, your body has actually moved across the ground closer to your target. You want to use the cross step when the ball is hit in front of you to either side. This allows you to save valuable time and steps while running to get the baseball faster. So let's practice the cross step together. We'll start in the ready position. When the ball is going to our left, we turn our hips to the left and take a step with our right foot in the direction that we need to run, crossing our body. If I took a step with my right foot first, before my left foot, it has now taken me 2 steps to move as far as I did with 1 cross step. When the ball is going to our right, we turn our hips to the right and take a step with our left foot in the direction we need to run, crossing our body. These movements should be quick so we can start running as fast as possible. The other type of step we can take is a drop step. The drop step is a directional step that points us in the correct direction we need to run. We want to use the drop step when the ball is hit behind us. This step helps point our body away from the ball so we can run properly while moving back to catch it. So let's practice the drop step together. We're going to start in the ready position, and when the ball is going to our left, we take a step back with our left foot, pointing away from us, and turn our hips and body to face away from the ball. Now we can do a cross step with our right foot and start to run. When the ball is going to our right, we take a step back with our right foot pointing away from us, turn our hips and body to face away from the ball, and do a cross step with our left foot and start to run. As we're running to get the ball, we want to keep our head facing the ball to track it and our arm tucked in. Our arm tucked in allows us to run faster to get the ball. We only put up the glove when we're about to catch the ball. If we run with our glove up, it slows us down and lowers the chance of getting to the ball in time. When you put up the glove as you're about to catch the ball, make sure the glove is turned and open to catch the ball behind you. When the ball is directly hit behind us over our head, you have to pick which way you want to do your drop step and turn to run. We don't want to backpedal to move backwards. Backpedaling is much slower than running using the drop step. You might need to adjust while you're running if you didn't read the ball properly, but it's still faster than backpedaling. Once we've made our first step and we're running to get the ball, we need to continue to use our eyes. We want to figure out where the ball is going to hit the ground and beat it there. The fastest way is to go in a straight line to where we think the ball is going to go. You also want to be running on your toes. If you run with your heels hitting the ground, your body can bounce up and down. This bouncing can affect how you see the ball and make it seem like it's bouncing around in the air. If we have the time, we always want to get behind the baseball to catch it. So if you're running backwards and you get there early, turn your body to face the ball again and make the catch. If you're running forward, you want to run in a curve to catch the ball facing forward to make a throw. We will talk more about getting behind the baseball and making a throw after catching it in a couple weeks when we talk more about outfielding. Fly balls that are hit directly at us are the hardest to read because while the ball is traveling up, it's hard to predict how high and how far the ball will go. In this case, we need to freeze or take a step back and wait until we can get a good read on the ball before moving. A common error is that we think these balls are going to be shorter and start running in before we get a good read on the ball. Then we have to change and run back. It's better to get a slightly later jump after freezing and start moving in the correct direction. The last point I want to make is that when we're catching a pop fly, we want to call the ball by saying mine. By the time the ball starts to fall, we should have a good idea of whether we can get there to catch it. We want to be safe and protect our fellow teammates, so if you know you can catch the ball, call mine so that we can avoid running into each other. You need to say mine with confidence and yell it loudly. So start when you're practicing, and every time you catch a fly ball, yell mine as you're doing it. I have a couple drills for you to work on at home to help you get better at catching pop flies. The first drill helps us get used to getting under the baseball. You'll want to use an extremely soft and squishy ball, like these yellow ones from the dollar store, or you can use a tennis ball and wear your helmet on your head. With the help of a family member, get them to mimic a pop fly by throwing the ball high above your head. Move your feet to get under the ball. Try and get it on the front of your forehead. Don't jump up to get the ball. Just get underneath it and let it hit your head. Ask your family member to throw the ball in different directions to practice getting under it. Do at least 10 of these. Now you can put on your glove and practice catching the ball in the same way. You can use the squishy balls if you're afraid of the ball hurting you. The second drill is to help us work on our drop step and cross step. Stand facing a family member and get them to throw the ball to you on both sides, so you can work on your drop step and running to catch the ball behind you. Practice 10 on each side. Then get them to throw the ball from side to side to work on your cross step. Practice 10 on each side. The first step is really important and is a learned skill, so lots of practice will make us better outfielders that can cover a lot of ground. These drills are a good place to start, but ultimately you also need to just practice all types of pop flies. Work on getting a read on the baseball, and then efficient footwork to get to it. These are skills we're always improving. So ask your family member to throw you pop flies in all directions. With lots of practice, your brain will get better at calculating where the ball will fall based on how hard it's hit, how high it will go, and in what direction and kind of spin it has. So don't get discouraged if you're dropping the ball or not getting there in time. Your brain is always learning how the ball flies in the air and what you can do differently to get where you need to be to catch it. Get excited by small victories as well. I'm always excited to see players at least get their gloves on the ball when working on tracking it. Keep practicing and get better every day. I hope that you enjoyed this week's video on pop flies. Amelia and I are super proud of all the progress you're making. We talked about a lot again this week, so don't hesitate to send me your questions or photos or videos for feedback. But I hope to see you all again on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for our Game Time Chat Zoom video call. Looking forward to doing more baseball again next week. Stay safe and have fun.